Hey guys, SoCal Val here. You are listening to the Hitting the Turnbuckle podcast.
Welcome, everybody, to the Hitting the Turnbuckle podcast. This is our Smackdown review show. I'm your host, Andy Burrows. Yes, I've made all the shows this week. Remarkable. I am joined by my illustrious co-host and tag team partner, Mr. Adam Cousins. Good morning, bro. It's not even 8:30 on a Saturday morning, and here we are. How are you, sir? I'm here. Look, we even brought my morning tea with me.
I've got my morning cup of Joe. I'm only allowed a couple a day. But yes, good morning and good morning Vietnam. It's Saturday and it's Smackdown Low Down time, and it was actually a really fun show.
Yeah, no, Smackdown was good. I woke up bright and early this morning, not as early as you to watch it, but I was up bright and breezy to watch Smackdown. Obviously, we're 24 hours. We were when Smackdown was recorded. 24 hours away from Fastlane. Obviously, Fastlane is tonight here in the UK. And it was a good go-home show for Fastlane and many other things as well. It had a lot of stuff. It was Judgment Day. It was everything involved. But let's kick it off at the start, mate. LA Knight kicking off the show. Have WWE finally, are they picking up the ball again with LA Knight and moving forward, would you say?
Yeah, picking up the pace of him. Come straight out. Was going to say a lot of things, but unfortunately he got cut off by the other man that always has a lot to say.
The Silver Fox.
Yeah, he needs some dye on that Barnet, doesn't he? He needs to sort that Barnet out, seriously. I don't know what he's still got a little ponytail. He still tries that little ponytail.
Still thinks he's in ECW, don't he, back in the day. All he needs is a long black trench coat now, and he'll be well away.
But I think WWE have finally decided to. No, they've not quite strapped the rocket yet. They've got the belt on. They just haven't hit the button.
Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting. I think Fastlane will be pinnacle in this. See what happens and see what happens at the end of Fastlane. With obviously they're not going to tag him, but it's just depending where they go. Do they put him in a story with Roman, who it was obviously broadcast on SmackDown this week that Roman returns again. Honestly, he's had more returns than Ric Flair, I think. I don't know. I wish they wouldn't do that. Just say he's on SmackDown next week. Yeah. Stop saying that he returns. And what's all this season premiere of SmackDown? SmackDown's on every fucking week. Just because it's on Fox. It's nothing different than it ever is. That really pissed me off.
They do it for everything. It's like every sort of. I know. It's when a season begins, isn't it? When they do it when it's a new season of Law and Order, they say the season premiere but that's been away for a week. Like that's been away. But I think they have to do. I think they have to do it in the States. I mean, they have to call something.
Do they?
Yeah. So I think I'm gathering it's near enough where the season premiere of Fox was, or it was a season premiere maybe when SmackDown originally aired. So they have to do it every year. But Raw has one as well, but I can't remember when it is.
Yeah, it's just crazy this season. Yeah. Roman Reigns returns on the Triple H is going to be he's going to be there just to go welcome to SmackDown. That's all he's going to do.
You'd think there is potentially I know Jade Card was meant to be starting on Raw, but there's potentially he's going to announce that. Potentially he's going to announce War Games, which kind of alludes to the end of.
Got to bring William Regal out to announce War Games.
He's got to, and he's not had on telly, is he? AEW get butter out with it, doesn't he? Don't they?
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, you will get to the end of SmackDown, and that's potentially. I thought that actually about War Games.
I shouted it out. End of SmackDown. War Games.
It's people in your house thinking, "What's he doing this time of the bloody?"
I was like, "What the fuck are you talking?"
I know, right? But yeah, obviously, Paul Heyman come out at the start of SmackDown, confronted LA Knight. Jimmy with Jimmy, and I got it right. I didn't say Jay. No. Jimmy and Solo Sikoa obviously were there. And they set up the main event of the evening. Obviously, we have John Cena running out halfway through. It was kind of the very predictable start of SmackDown. As soon as you saw LA Knight on his own, you knew that Cena was come out. But LA Knight obviously challenging Jimmy Uso to the main event of SmackDown.
And Jimmy Uso accepted without Roman Reigns' authority.
How dare they? How dare they? No, you got to get operation of the Tribal Chief, mate.
The only thing I would say with Cena is very disappointed with this run. I don't know if I've said this already. Maybe I have.
As in,
just he come back and he's been like 6 weeks of shit. Really, without it's been all substance and nothing. No, sorry, all sugar and no spice, or all something and no. What's that phrase that they use? All sizzle but no steak.
All sizzle but no steak. Yeah, I mean, are they? is he back purely because of what was going on with the writer's strike and Hollywood? And he obviously can't make movies. I know that writer's strike's off now. And, he was never, probably sounds involved, if you know what I mean. But there's still talk of him getting one more title run. There's still talk of him getting, breaking Flair's record. There's still talk of him doing many things. I mean, if you think about it, is he, he's going to be involved in Mania next year. He's going to, apparently, Rumble. Apparently, the main event in Saudi Arabia is going to be Roman Reigns versus John Cena.
Yeah, I've heard conflicting with that, but I've heard there's so many stories. We'll get into another major story that I've heard conflicting about. In a minute, we might as well get the elephant out of the room spoken about at some point from yesterday's news. Which again, a conflict. I've heard conflicting again. I don't know, because there was talk of AJ Styles, there's talk of LA Knight, there's talk of John Cena. Obviously, he's going. Saudi Arabia. You would expect Brock to go there, but I don't think he is this time. So maybe they're loading it up with Cena.
Brock's done. You ain't seen him Brock till Mania,
or the Rumble earliest, probably.
Or the Rumble mainly. You could be in the Rumble, but
yeah.
I don't. But yeah, do you want to do the elephant in the room?
Let's get it done before we get the action. So, CM Punk is apparently in talks with the WWE, and the source in the WWE said no deal is completed. I heard afterwards that there's been no talks, but I don't think there's no smoke without fire on this. They said it was coming from Punk's camp, but if a WWE source has said there's no deal, the WWE come out and said there's no deal completed, that generally means that discussions are at least underway.
Yeah, Survivor Series is in Chicago, and we all know that CM Punk can only really wrestle in Chicago for debuts, and it's the only place he can do it. Even WWE are like, can he not just wrestle somewhere else that isn't Chicago? He does get pops around, only got to look wherever he go. Look at Wembley, did right there. But yeah, I think once this starts happening and these sort of rumors start going around, mate, I think it's happening. I think as much as I'd like to have seen him gone to an Impact Wrestling, and I really do mean that, because I think it'd have been good for the product. Like me and you said not so long ago, I don't think his ego would let him go to Impact Wrestling. And you can talk all you want about, he'll just do what's best for business. No. He wants his main goal now will be to put two fingers up to AEW.
Oh yeah, and what better way?
What better way to go back to? I'm not even going to call them rivals, because they're not, but to go to WWE and do whatever they do with him, and it'll be a good 5-6 months, and then he'll fall out and he'll be gone. He'll make it to Mania. I think he'll make it. Do you
think he's doing it or do you think he's doing it so he main events one night of Mania? Because that's what his biggest bitch with the WWE was. He never made it.
Never main event.
He had all these main event matches, but he was never last on. And now it's over 2 nights. He could maybe main event night 1 against Seth or Cody or something like that, just so he gets his moment. Not saying that's it. I mean, he'll sign a contract, but predominantly he gets that moment.
Could beat Nakamura for the title.
I don't think
Nakamura gets it. You don't think Nakamura's going to get it?
Not by then. I'm saying he's not going to win the title. I don't think he'll be champion by WrestleMania.
They could circle. They might have circled back around to Seth by then, or Cena.
That would make sense.
CM Punk versus John Cena for the world title. Put the title on Cena for a little bit. That's
potential. And then that goes back, that rewrites the Money in the Bank thing. Or you could even do, Cody could have won the world heavyweight title, like the Raw one by then, and have Punk and Cody. That's an AEW kick in the nuts, isn't it?
Yeah, big time. It's going to be, he's coming back. I think he's 100% coming back to WWE. Is it the right move?
Which is what you said as soon as he left AEW.
Yeah, it's not. You don't have to be
Burrows with his crystal ball.
I know, man. I think I've watched way too much wrestling. Another thing that we can get to in a little bit as well is obviously a certain dead man turning up on NXT. What did I say to you a month and a half ago? And you were like, "No way, they're rolling him out." I was like, "They're going to roll him out for something."
What was the point? I can't remember the discussion that we was having at that point, but we was having.
I think we were talking about former wrestlers coming back and ratings and stuff like that. And I remember saying to you, there's going to come a time when WWE are going to need a rating or something, and they're going to call on the Undertaker. What are they going to do with him?
Let's get it done, because it's obviously again, it's another one of those discussions. So there was an NXT advert that aired
on SmackDown,
on SmackDown, and it basically said that Cena was going to be there, that Cody, that Heyman, and they run it through, and then just as when you think the ending's over, it goes black, and the Undertaker's gong goes off. Which, You know that, man. Yeah, I don't mean. Is this desperation for WWE just to say we want to beat these? I mean, they beat them this week without
It's
even.
probably more an executive thing saying we want the numbers. And like we said when me and you spoke at the beginning of the week.
Yeah.
Ratings will create some money for some executives. And don't get me wrong, there's probably some sort of Vince McMahon ego that wants to go to AEW. Hey, look, you moved your show to a Tuesday. Like I said to you the other day, if you're that confident about your show, just leave it going up against the baseball. I think AEW would have been fine on a Wednesday still, but they've moved it to Tuesday. I don't know if that's because the network is saying you're moving it to Tuesday because obviously, exactly the network have said you're moving it to Tuesday. But the Taker thing, realistically, what's he going to do on NXT? He's not going to be involved in any moving forward storyline, or is he? I don't know. Could he be involved? Is this setting? They're going to Saudi Arabia next. Do they want? They want the Taker there.
No. Well, he might be there.
Happened before, dude.
Oh yeah, he might be.
Saudi Arabia always want. I mean, the big rumor going around at the minute is that it's potentially going to be Goldberg again.
Oh no.
No, you'd be pleased about that. But then AEW, there's rumors that he could be hitting AEW. Saudi Arabia always want. I think it's going to be Cena versus Reigns at Saudi Arabia for the title.
Could be.
I'd be surprised if Cena wins.
No, Roman ain't dropping that title. Not.
Be surprised. No, I didn't tell you. What's the date today? The 7th of October. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, Saudi Arabia have always wanted that marquee. I mean, they've tried and failed. They've had Goldberg. They've had DX versus.
They've done a good one, didn't they? They done
Taker.
Was it Edge? Sorry, Adam Copeland now.
Adam Copeland. You can't call him Edge.
Go fuck yourself, as Christian.
Yeah. Oh, well, no, I didn't see it.
Yeah.
No one saw the end. No one, because they thought, I know what we'll do. We'll rerun a segment with Adam Cole going around someone's house. That's why Dynamite overran, because they fucking ran the same segment twice. Because of anyway.
Let's get SmackDown.
But yeah, so SmackDown, obviously, we had the main event was set up. It was going to be Jimmy versus LA Knight. I kind of figured out where that was going as soon as that happened, but there was a few twists and turns with the Judgment Day.
Yeah.
The first match of the night was Charlotte Flair and Asuka versus Io Sky and Bailey. Yeah, I've got no interest. I'm not going to lie.
Boring as hell now.
Yeah, and it's sad to see. We need Jade Cargill really, and I hope she does flip between Raw and SmackDown and NXT.
Oh, don't start with that crap. She can go anywhere.
I think it will. I think that's gone now. I think you can go to NXT, Raw. I think that's a whole. I think it's one big continuing storyline now, especially with the Judgment Day. They're on all the shows.
Yeah, I mean the tag titles are fine. So Priest and Balor have a reason to be because they are the undisputed tag title. So I get that. But Dominic, fucking Rhea, you might as well just bring the entire Raw roster down there and they just have a little party or something because it's just getting crazy. And then he had the exclusive to Raw, Jey Uso, who decided that he's quit SmackDown 5 weeks ago, and now he's back. And then we'll talk about that later. But Charlotte and Asuka, Io Sky and Bailey, Asuka and Flair picking up the win. Obviously, Flair knocking Asuka off the side of the ring apron, and then there's a bit of an indecision with these damage controls, wasn't there? She tried to put the figure 4 on Charlotte. She booted her into Io, didn't she? Yeah, and then they got then she got the win. Charlotte. This women's division needs a refresh. Like these are the same matches. I mean, we want the women on telly. That's the thing. We want them on telly, but we want them in a meaningful. NXT are doing it well. You might as well just put NXT on every week. NXT are doing it really well. They've got the new women's breakout, which makes me think women are getting called up from NXT because they're having a breakout division. So they're getting new women on to maybe replace some of the old women that are going to go up. Realistically, though, Jade, if she debuts on Raw, who's she going? Is that you got the whole Nia Jax squashing everyone at the minute storyline going around, and that's about it for the women's division. So is Nia going to be out squashing everyone, and then it goes dark, and Jade Cargill's music hits, and she comes down and absolutely obliterates Nia Jax? Maybe. So you want her to Nia Jax has been going around. Nia's been going around absolutely obliterating everyone, but then Jade Cargill is going to be the one that comes out destroyed. Yeah, I don't want her to. Come on, dude. I think it's. They've got to be careful how they debut her because they get one chance at this. And so if she would debuts tonight on Fastlane, as me and you sit recording this on Saturday morning, she would debuts tonight and she comes out and interferes in the match. Then
the women's match.
Rhea's not defending, right? It's just the other
No,
one.
Rhea's not on it. No, Rhea's not doing anything at Fastlane. She's just going to be hanging out with the Judgment Day. I'm guessing setting up. I'm guessing they're going to be setting up what we're going to get to in a little bit. But yeah, obviously then on SmackDown, we, like you say, we've already touched on. We had the NXT ad with the Undertaker gong. We got it. Then we went to Rey Mysterio versus Bobby Lashley. This was after the Judgment Day was seen backstage, and
they arrived, didn't they, and all that stuff.
They arrived, and obviously I wasn't really interested. Ray and Bobby next. David versus Goliath. They had it down on SmackDown.
You know what made me laugh on the commentary? They kept saying, "Can Ray pull off an upset?" Like, jeez, what? Is he debuting or something?
I know, yeah. He's like, he's just been called up from NXT. The guy's one of the most decorative wrestlers in the history of the business, all over across all companies. And they're asking, can he beat Bobby Lashley? He fucking hell, the geezer lasted 30 people in the Royal Rumble. I'm sure if he wanted to, he could beat Bobby Lashley.
He beat Carly at one point.
Yeah, the great Carly. Well, that wasn't in a Punjabi prison match.
No, it wasn't. No.
Yeah. Obviously, Bobby picking up the win, but then there was a few injuries to the LWO, which set up who is going to be at Fastlane. I think we can already guess a certain chewing apple friend of ours is finally going to come out of catering. Him and Johnny Gargano this week. Catering must be wondering where everyone's gone.
Yeah, they've only got the Authors of Pain there now, haven't they?
Yeah, there's just the Authors of Pain sitting there eating their mac and cheese.
Would it be weird if, like, Carlito ends up costing the LW, like, their match, and then they turn on Ray, and then Carlito's the leader of the LWO, and they turn him?
Yeah, I still think Escobar is gonna.
Maybe Escobar does it, but Carlito's.
I thought he was going to do it last week when he had that, but yeah, I think it's coming because I don't think this LWO storyline's quite gone. No. It was when they had the whole Puerto Rico thing going, and it was good, and I get why they've done it. They do it over here all the time. If you're in London, we used to have the British Ball. I get it, but it's kind of died on its arse since then. So yeah, they need to reignite something. There's quite a few storylines like that at the minute WWE needs to do. But obviously Bobby picking up the win, and then it set up backstage. There was a few. The LWO got a beat down, and there's some injuries. And yeah, it's setting up Carlito to be Ray's mysterious partner at Fastlane tonight.
Rey Mysterio's mysterious partner. What?
But this. How many times have we said this over the last few months? This is why I don't enjoy some aspects of wrestling, because nothing is a surprise anymore. Fair play, they kept the Rock a secret a couple of weeks ago. That wasn't really any whispers about that. And like I said, I remember you texting me in the morning saying, do not go on social media, because you watched it before me. They kept that a secret. So if you can keep the Rock a secret, but the problem is, like you say, Carlito's been in catering for 2 months.
Yep.
We know he's signed. We know I think he's been helping produce, or he's been doing something backstage. So we know he's involved in WWE, but yeah, it's not really going to be a surprise when he rocks out tonight. Again, it's another surprise ruined. We then moved on to Austin Theory. He was against Dragon Lee. Yeah. Again, what the fuck have they done with Austin Theory in the last? They've put him with Grayson Waller. I don't think that's worked. I think WWE have kind of. I think they're moving him sideways. He could be another one that we see, quote unquote, go down to NXT soon.
Back
across, down. I'm going to start calling them call-ups, because if you go to NXT now, it's doing Baron Corbin, it's doing wonders for people.
Yeah.
What did you make of Dragon and Austin Theory, and where they're going with Austin? Because since the whole Vince McMahon thing's blowing up, and Austin's just gone, he's just nosedived, mate. We've seen it with wrestlers over in the past. We know it's happened. It's not the first time. It's not something new as wrestling fans that we've seen. But what do you make of what they're doing with Austin Theory right now?
Well, the match itself was fine, but it sounds like Dragon Lee's now called up, just quietly called up.
Yeah, no one's. Yeah, so they've done it on the sly, but maybe because of what happened in NXT with Mustafa getting the tin tack, he got sacked, obviously, and that was meant to be a whole. That was meant to be a whole story. Sorry, Cockney and me coming up. For those listening, and those listening in America probably thinking, "What's tin tack?" He got fired.
Yeah.
That was meant to be a whole storyline, and that was meant to happen at No Mercy and etc. WWE have had to kind of think on the fly here. But yeah, it was a good match, but obviously Dragon getting the win with
Cameron Grimes. Don't forget him. Where was he for the last?
Where's he been? He come out and you could see half the crowd go, "Who's this?
Yeah.
Who?" If you haven't watched, NXT, or you haven't been around, you haven't watched, and you're just like, who's this guy?
Yeah, he pulled up. He didn't. He got 1 week when he beat Corbin, and then that was like it.
That was it. Yeah, no one's seen him since. So yeah, Austin Theory loses another dead rubber match.
Since Cena buried him, he's been on the mic that time. He's never recovered from that. And then when you just start picking up momentum from that, The Rock annihilates him on the mic.
Yeah, and he was meant to get the big push. Obviously, he beat Cena at last year's WrestleMania. It was the opening match of WrestleMania last year. This year, sorry. Mania just gone. He opened Mania, and you're thinking, all right, well, maybe they've got some plans for him. The United States title run just died.
Yeah,
absolutely died. So I don't know what their plan is for him. I think he needs. How do you reinvent him though? He is that Vince McMahon chiseled guy look that he looks when a wrestler. How do you? The Grayson Waller thing hasn't worked.
no.
I find it incredibly boring, and I'm just like, so that was 2 matches in a row. We had Ray and Bobby, and then that, and then obviously they announced that Triple H is going to be appearing on SmackDown. Now, you said at the start of the show, Ads, what potentially, apart from him coming out saying "Welcome to the season premiere of SmackDown" and spitting water over the front row, what do you potentially see him announcing? Is it War Games?
Maybe War Games, could be announcing Jade Cargill, could be. Who knows? Could even be announcing an additional draft to go with the rest of the draft that never makes any sense. I don't know.
He might be announcing who's coming over from Raw.
There you go. I thought that was going to be Cody's announcement in NXT until you kindly pointed out about the Dusty Classic.
I think that's going to be the Dusty Classic.
But it's great though, isn't it? Because they haven't said it's got a major announcement. And everyone's going to be like, what is it? And he's like,
Dusty and it's going to happen. Everyone's going to be like, oh, the Dusty Classic that you used to do every year. Don't get wrong, it'll be good. But you run the Dusty Classic and you run the women's breakout, and you're kind of like, that's 2 things you've got to segue onto the show. That's going to take up a fair bit of time, and then it's got to culminate in happening at the end of the next pay-per-view. Yeah, I don't know. I personally just think he's going to come out and say welcome to SmackDown, but that's just me.
Right.
We then had the Judgment Day and the Bloodline backstage together with Rhea saying, "Clear out the room. Myself and Mr. Heyman need to talk." This is kind of teasing what you mentioned a minute ago.
Yeah,
War Games is coming up. Are we going to get the Bloodline versus the Judgment Day at War Games?
No. I don't think it's Bloodline being Judgment Day. I think it's going to be
them versus Cena, Cody,
Jay,
LA Knight.
Maybe LA Knight, and then perhaps Kevin Owens or Sami Zayn, someone like that. I don't know. But yeah, that was quite funny. Like
that was segue into Survivor Series, then, wasn't it?
Yeah, that is it, isn't it? That is some. Unless the faces have a mystery partner. Yeah, exactly that.
Bringing him back it makes sense.
I don't know. Or he could just come out and start the show. I don't know.
What did you make of the whole Rhea acknowledge me? But I thought that was good.
Mummy's always on top.
It's going to be like the female version of Roman. Mummy's always on top. I laughed hard, man. I thought, it was. What do you make of like what they done with her backstage?
I like it. I don't mind it. I think that's great. And then she was like, "You don't need his authority." He's like, "I have to get it." It's like, "No, Paul, you don't need his authority." And then
I liked it. Yeah. Call Roman Reigns. Does that phone ever fucking ring? I've only got to look at my phone right now. I'm scared to say anything. I'm like, ring your, say your name. It's going to fucking ring it. But yeah, it is. It's good what they've done with that storyline. It's going to be interesting to see what they do. But that led us obviously to the main event of SmackDown. We had LA Knight versus Jimmy Uso. We kind of knew this match wasn't going to go too long before the world and his wife interfered. Obviously, we had Solo Sikoa coming out first. Then we had John Cena. Then we had the Judgment Day. Then we had Jey Uso. So not meant to be on SmackDown. But like I think you sent me saying in the WhatsApp group in the week saying he was advertised, right, for SmackDown?
Yep, so was Cody.
Yeah,
so you never knew whether it was going to be a dark match or.
Well, they definitely did have a dark match because Cody was in full gear. Yeah, that dark match. I'm really interested. I might have to go on the
nice AEW reference. They had him in full gear.
Yeah. The dark match would have been good. But what did you make to the ending of SmackDown? Obviously, it was the Judgment Day. Paul Heyman's come up to them and said, "Authorize." So he'd obviously got the okay.
Got the okay from Daddy.
Yeah, okay, my daddy says to mummy that, it's like some dodgy fucking 1980s porn film. What did you make of the ending? They're all on the ring apron. Yeah, I thought it was good, fun. Cody. But then, is Cody now? He's been on SmackDown a few times. Is he going to be on NXT? Is it if they announce this announcement that he is going to be going across to SmackDown? Does it really mean anything? Because we could potentially still see him on Raw anyway.
No, I don't mean nothing, mate. It really don't mean nothing to have, like, when they say he's going, if he's the collateral damage, and then next week he'll be appearing on Raw in the dark segment that we don't see, and then on a lead up to something or other like the Royal Rumble, he'll be there because he's in the Royal Rumble. So that's another pass you get given from the WWE to turn up on any show. Then Raw ratings drop. Oh, we'll move Cody over for another week just because the ratings have gone down a little bit, and maybe AEW will do a Monday night show for 1 week, and then they'll load up Raw with Hulk Hogan, Warrior, Honky Tonk Man, and
Do you remember when TNA done that? They moved to Mondays.
Yeah, what a fucking mistake that was.
Hogan.
I don't think AEW are that stupid, to be quite honest with you. But well, okay. Well, I personally don't, but you may have other feelings on that.
I reckon Tony Khan's ego is eventually going to get in the way of him running his company.
And then I think that'll be the biggest mistake that he'll ever make, personally. I don't want to see another whole thing where one gets put out of business and the other, because I like having different flavors of stuff to watch. Because
it's good. I mean, what they're going to be doing with what AEW are going to be doing with Adam Copeland, can't call him Edge, moving forward. I mean, he's advertised on. I haven't watched. I haven't
Collision tonight.
He's advertised on everything next week. Rampage.
The problem is that Collision goes up against Fastlane.
Yeah, exactly.
People will be closing down their Facebooks again.
Yeah.
I
mean, NXT
goes up
NXT kicked everyone's ass in the ratings last week. It was NXT and Dynamite, blew Dynamite out the water. So if you're going to put Collision up against Fastlane, and
I mean that has to go up because it's a pay-per-view, isn't it?
Are we getting to this stage now in wrestling where people are mentioning this next Tuesday night, the war, and it's one night, but are we getting to the stage now where it's getting to AEW doing certain things to negate what WWE are doing, and WWE are definitely doing it because fuck me, they're bringing back the Undertaker on Tuesday? Are we kind of getting to that stage now where they're always trying to it's like WCW and WWF?
It is. It's like one up each other, and I think that the Jay Cargill thing is going to start a movement of, and Adam Copeland as well, is going to start in 2024. We're going to see a hell of a lot of people switching from one to the other. Maybe Ricky Starks is another one that's very. I mean, I don't think he'll work in WWE, to be honest, because it's just Cody's mate. He's not. Not that I don't think he's great, but when you say there's people that suit, like Dave and that always say Jade Cargill suits the WWE, so it makes sense.
Yeah, Ricky Starks suits AEW.
Yeah, and then I think you got the Sheamus contract, Drew's contract is up next year. Sheamus's contract's up. You got quite. I think even Seth's is up next year. Not that I don't think he would, but I'm just, but I still think we're going to start seeing that whole domino effect of people switching a lot as of next year. We'll be seeing more debuts, which is fun for us. But I don't. But it's. But I think you're right. I think there's a lot of one-upmanship. But then AEW next week. I mean, we're segueing a bit onto AEW, but AEW's card next week on Tuesday, I wouldn't be expecting them to beat NXT with what they've put out for next week. The title Tuesday with 2 titles or 3 titles, I can't remember now.
Luchasaurus versus Adam Copeland's the main event, right?
I don't know if it's the main event, but that's MJF isn't defending his title.
How can you have title Tuesday with no MJF, by the way? Unless they're going to announce something that he's. How can you have title Tuesday without your champion?
He's still got the Ring of Honor belts, hasn't he? I know that Adam Cole isn't.
Great. Ring of Honor's doing great right now. I can't even watch it on Fight anymore.
Oh, I don't know. I just watch it on the other thing that we have.
Yeah, but it used to be like they publicized Ring of Honor loads. Now it's just like a afterthought. It's not anything. It's like AEW Dark, and you had all them shows. It's I don't know. It's the
mystery. But I don't expect AEW to beat NXT in the ratings next week. Just for this, if you look at the cards, there is no comparison.
No, I mean, I'm just I'm looking forward to. Oh, you've gone dark. Right, well, there you are.
I've gone AEW dark.
Yeah, you've gone AEW dark. I can just see the top of your head. No, that's good. I'm not expecting. I mean, to be fair, I'm going to enjoy watching all. I mean, we watch it all the time anyway because it's what we do. But I think next week it's going to have more eyes on both products to see what happens. Obviously NXT, obviously Fastlane's going to lead into something. I think it's going to be good, but. It's been good chopping up SmackDown, mate. Not even 9 a.m. on a Saturday morning, and we've banged out our SmackDown review. Obviously, we have Fastlane tonight, so we'll be back probably on Monday. I reckon we're going to review that. Myself and Adam are heading to Jurassic Wrestling.
Good for tomorrow. The guys putting a show.
The guys have got the show on down in Adam's neck of the woods. It's down in Essex.
Essex, mate.
3-hour, 10-minute drive for me tomorrow to
Good
come
luck
and
with
see
that.
your ugly mug.
57-minute drive for me. Me, Emma.
You lucky bastard. Yeah, 3 hours in a car for me tomorrow, mate, to come and hang out with you all afternoon. But
And
I'm
a
looking
big
forward to it.
shout out quickly to another company that decided to get in touch with us the last few days, which is fantastic. New Force Wrestling have invited us down to a show. Unfortunately, I'm at a show that day. I'm at RCWA on that Saturday, but you may be attending.
Yes, Saturday the 28th of October down in Ivor.
Right near Wembley.
Newford, not too far from Wembley, it's around Heathrow-ish way, around the M25 for me. So New Force Wrestling, I've invited, they've reached out to the Hitting the Turnbuckle. They've invited me down there, myself and Adam. Obviously, Adam's at a show, so I'm going to hopefully try and get down. It just depends where the mighty Dunstable Town are.
Sun is beaming on my...
Yeah, I can literally, you are, it's like you're being called from the gods.
My word, that's better. Wow.
Okay. You know,
Bruce Almighty.
You're glowing.
Yeah.
So
skin moisturizer.
NFW have invited us down. It'd be, they reached out to me on Instagram yesterday, just looking at some of their stuff now. It just depends where the mighty Dunstable Town are, but hopefully we will get down to a show. Hopefully, all being well, it'll be on October the 28th. I just think it depends on who we're playing in the cup.
We've got Jurassic this week.
Jurassic's this week. There's a lot of stuff coming up.
After that, I think I'm doing RCWA and I'm doing Progress the week after. So I'm doing RCWA in Raynham, Progress Wrestling Halloween.
I've got Apex the week after that.
Apex the week after. The week after that, I'm at back at Rev Pro, I believe.
Yeah, I might. It depends how Washington are playing. Then, if we're still shit,
you'll be still coming. You'll be coming. Don't worry. I think I could beat him on my own.
I just lost to a team that ain't won for a year. Anyway, that's another thing. Yeah.
Dunstable will win today. Put you in a better mood.
Let's hope Dunstable and Canby pick up. Who can be playing today?
They're in the cup today. They're in the FA Trophy. They're away from home. I've got to get their opponents because I always get that wrong when I look at it. So they're playing Walton and
Hersham.
That's the boys. Yes, they're playing them in the trophy away from home. Unfortunately,
nice little ground ball on that
game for fucking ages.
Yeah, you have to come up and watch the mighty Dunstable, mate.
Yes.
Anyway, this has been the Smackdown review, everyone. Hope you've enjoyed it. Like I say, go and check us out on Twitter at HTT Buckle, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Just type in the Hitting the Turnbuckle podcast. Big shout out to Rach, who's been doing some good stuff over on the Instagram page.
Next week we'll have some of the other team back.
I feel like I haven't seen Dave and Parker.
I know Dave's
inconveniently. Dave went and had a baby. Well, his wife had a baby. Parker's busy over in the States working hard, and at the time zones, it's not easy to get us all on the same show, but maybe we'll try and get something together. It'd be good if we can all talk about the quote unquote Tuesday Night War. That'll be good. Yeah, we can do it now if you want. And NXT win. Oh, sorry, my bad. Anyway, we'll be back next week with our Fast Lane reviews, Raw, SmackDown, everything.
Interviews.
Go and check out our interviews. We've got some great interviews coming up.
Act 2. And then we got Shane Pinto, a manager from the States, and we still can't announce the big one yet. We're probably going to be November before we can announce it. Okay. But let's just say you're talking about War. This guy.
Oh, that's one clue. Yeah, there you go. You can have one clue. If you're talking about War,
when you're talking about
guy,
I know it's not Vladimir Putin.
It's not Vince McMahon either.
We wish.
We wish, but yeah, it's someone that knows all about wars. Anyway,
Uncle Albert's coming on, basically.
Yeah. You mentioned the war one more time. Anyway, let's go. We're done. Adam, I will catch you tomorrow, mate. I'll see you tomorrow at Jurassic Wrestling. Everyone, go and check us out on all our socials. Till next time, everybody, this has been the Hitting the Turnbuckle podcast. I've been your host, Andy Burrows, with my tag team partner, Mr. Adam Cousins. Buckle down. Stay safe.